Get ready for the most jaw-dropping updates from the Selling Sunset crew. Because what's happening behind those glossy real estate listings is more shocking than ever. From stunning career twists to explosive drama, unexpected relationships, and heart-wrenching personal moments, we're diving into the latest chapter for each of your favorite agents. Think secret struggles, major revelations, and yes, a little bit of luxury chaos. Will the glitz of the a real estate world keep them all afloat, or will the pressure crack them wide open? Stick with us as we break down the latest from the cast, including love loss and everything in between. You won't want to miss this. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss a single update. Brett is standing in a moment of quiet clarity. On the 11th of October, 2025, he posted a photo on Instagram tagging his twin brother Jason and longtime collaborator Noir Bar, with the caption, "Travel photos from when Brett and I quit our jobs as attorneys to travel the world for 3 years, visiting 80 countries and more than 200 cities." The image shows the three of them laughing in vibrant sunlight, sandy beach in the background, a flash of freedom memory that feels less like nostalgia and more like a current reset. It's as if Brett is saying, "I still remember why I stepped out of the rat race, and I bring that spirit into every listing I touch." Just a few weeks earlier, Brett shared another introspective moment. He told his followers via Instagram Reel, "I thought I would finally post my TEDx talk. It's quite personal and a bit raw and probably not what you would expect from me." The clip shows him quietly backstage, adjusting his tie, a lighting soft, the energy subdued. This signals that Brett is leaning into vulnerability, not just the glitz of million-dollar homes, but the human side of the story. On the business front, Brett remains firmly in the driver's seat alongside Jason. A key article from the Wall Street Journal reports that in May 2025, the two of them responded to a sudden shift in the Los Angeles luxury market after wildfires and rising rates. The piece explains, over the winter, Jason posted a 3.2 million view Instagram diatribe against LA crime, which he delivered in a plush bathrobe. The article goes on to credit the brothers with offering pro bono assistance to fire victims and calling out predatory buyers. Brett, as co-leader of the Oppenheim group, is clearly sharing both the spotlight and the consequences, showing that the luxury broker role can also carry civic weight. Even amid professional triumphs and polished listings, Brett's personal life stays noticeably private. A recent piece in People, October 2025, notes simply, "Brett appears to be single." While his brother Jason is publicly dating Jessica Vargas, Brett's status remains single, as the article states. Brett, who runs the Oppenheim group with his brother, appears to be single. There are no recent announcements of engagements, children, or major relationships, which itself feels like a statement. For a personality accustomed to the camera's glare, his silence says, "I'm focused on work, on legacy, on purpose." In the world of his show, Brett plays an active role behind the scenes of big drama. With the release of Season 9 of Selling Sunset, the 29th of October, 2025, he and Jason are on camera, pulling the strings when tensions reached a breaking point inside their office. In one explosive scene, aimed at longtime agent Nicole Young, the brothers confront her after a disparaging comment made about co-star Chrishell Stause's parents. Brett tells her the behavior is incredibly toxic, and the only solution is for her to leave the office. It's a rare moment where Brock duels as business executive and moral arbitrator, showing a side of Brett not often centered in the camera's eye but deeply present. Taken together, these recent developments paint a picture of Brett Oppenheim at a pivot point. He's still selling luxury LA, homes and traveling the world, yet he's also telling a more layered story of rest, resilience, integrity, and even restraint. He's not posting lavish dinner photos or announcing a new romance. Instead, he's quietly sharing travel memories, revealing a raw TEDx talk, and asserting his leadership amid professional drama. For fans of his show and his story, this is less about flash and more about foundation. Over the past year, we've watched Nicole Young step into the spotlight again. But this time, it's less about sold-out listings and more about standing her ground. In the build-up to Season 9 of Selling Sunset, Nicole arrives at a high-stakes girls' giving dinner with all the glamour of polished a la real estate. But by the time the turkey hits the table, the atmosphere has already turned stormy. She tells the publication Tudum on October 29, 2025. "I'm proud of how I stood my ground, and I'm proud of how I hope things will come across. At least I can walk away with my head held high." That dinner becomes the lightning rod moment. Nicole says she walked in feeling wary and isolated, and when her castmates stepped into that room, the mood shifted instantly. It was like a dark cloud came with them. A confrontation with longtime colleague Chrishell Stause over rumors Nicole circulated about another agent, Emma Hernan, having an affair. In the heat of the moment, Nicole fires back, "Honey, you're confusing me with your parents. You seem to be obsessed with drugs." The line leaves the table stunned, and Nicole is subsequently asked to leave the office dinner. This fracture extends into the reunion special of the season. In a tense November 5, 2025 gathering, Nicole offers what she calls an apology, stating, "I'm sorry for the intent that was taken." But cast members Chrishell and Amanza Smith don't accept it as one. Chrishell presses, "Do you think an apology is warranted? And if so, would you like to take the opportunity to apologize to me?" Nicole stays silent. Behind the cameras, Nicole is also navigating the question of her career status. Many believed she was fired from the Oppenheim group after the dinner incident, but Nicole says no, that storyline was frustrating for me because the truth of the matter is I was never fired from the office or the Oppenheim group. She explains that in her role as an independent contractor, not coming into the office and continuing to work and do business, that wasn't a huge deal. Then on November 4, 2025, she publicly flat-out denies rumors of substance abuse, telling TMZ, "I've never had a substance abuse problem. Pure BS from Chrishell and Amanza." On another front, Nicole reveals she is ready for change. She's currently selling her house in Los Angeles and shifting her focus toward the Nashville market, closer to her husband's family, while still maintaining her footprint in La Real Estate. "My new priority will be Nashville, but it definitely won't be goodbye to lay real estate," she says. It's clear that what started as a reality show storyline is now morphing into a real-life transition. Brie steps onto the red carpet of the premiere for Season 9 of Selling Sunset on October 29, 2025, hand in hand with her partner Nick Cannon and their son Legendary. Their joint appearance, her in a strapless gown, him arm around her waist, signals that despite rumors and curiosity, their relationship remains firm. In an Instagram post, she captioned him, "My best friend and partner in life," and when a fan asked, "Are they together again?" she responded briefly, "Never weren't. We locked in." On the show itself, Brie draws a firm line during a scene with new cast member Sandra Vergara. When Sandra asks if he has, like 20 kids, and refers to Nick as Mariah Carey's ex, Brie replies, "I try not to talk about my religion. I don't talk about pronouns or Mariah. Just for the future. Those are things that are my nose." This rare moment of openness gives fans a peek behind her usual guarded stance and reinforces that she defines the boundaries of her own story. Earlier in the year, in a March interview with the We Need to Talk podcast, Brie reflected on the dynamic of her blended family. She said, "They're just young right now, so they don't really interact as much. I just want to make sure I'm keeping the door open and that everyone involved is happy." Here she acknowledges the complexity of being in a high-profile relationship surrounded by 12 children and multiple co-parents. Yet she remains intentional about pointing her son toward openness and harmony. Another major thread, Brie has publicly affirmed that she is content being a mother to Legendary alone. In September 2024, she told viewers of the show that she's one and done, saying, "It wouldn't be fair to bring in another kid, because I already have this insane mom guilt of not doing enough for him." She explained that balancing a demanding career as a real estate broker with motherhood has been a challenge, and adding another child would compound the pressure. Amid all this, 2025 also brings legal undertones. Reports have surfaced that she is facing a lawsuit valued at around $12 million, which was not heavily addressed in the show's narrative. This development looms quietly in the background of her public persona and career, adding a layer of professional intrigue to her otherwise polished image. Beyond the headlines, Brie's lifestyle remains exceptionally glamorous. In August, she was spotted at a chick lunch in Sydney at Mimi's, wearing a black blazer miniskirt and Louboutin heels, enjoying caviar with model Ellie Gonçalves. The image reinforces the high-end world she cultivates in fashion, real estate, social life. Even as she builds a grounded identity as mom and partner, through it all, Brie's tone is unexpectedly serene. She says of her relationship with Nick, "I feel like this is probably, which is so crazy, the healthiest relationship I've ever had. We never fight. We never have any toxicity. We don't argue, nothing." She positions herself not as a drama magnet, but as someone living on her terms, even when the spotlight tries to demand otherwise. The tabloids may still know her as the glamorous real estate agent from Selling Sunset, but behind the glitter and high-rise listings, Chrishell is navigating one of the most vulnerable chapters of her life. In June 2025, she posted on her Instagram story, "Back on the IVF hell train. I think this may be my last attempt." She shares that she and her partner G Flip, who married in May 2023, are willing to pivot to other ways of becoming parents if this round doesn't take. People.com, https://people.com/Chrishell-Stause-admits-this-EVF-round-might-be-her-last-attempt-11,752,372 UTM_source =ChatGPT.com. In an interview, G Flip, who is non-binary and uses they pronouns, described their shared journey as very grim. A little bit of good news, a lot of bad news, a little bit of hope, no hope. People.com, https://people.com/Chrishell-Stause-G-Flip-G-exclusive-118 UTM_source =ChatGPT.com. For fans who always saw glam and confidence, this is the raw undercurrent. Two people deeply in love, clinging to hope, while acknowledging how fragile the dream of parenthood can be. And through it all, the romance adds a charming contrast. On July 26, 2025, Chrishell and G Flip donned corseted gown and knight's tunic to host a medieval hay-themed vow renewal in a castle in the Hollywood Hills. Chrishell floated down the turret in white. G Flip stood regal in red with a sword at their side, and they pledged again their very real connection that transcends expectations. People.com, https://people.com/Chrishell-Stause-G-Flip-have-third-wedding-at-Los Angeles-castle-11,779,817 UTM_source =chat pt.com. G Flip later explained that the couple now plans to renew vows every July, turning what might have been wedding overload into a joyous annual celebration of their bond. People.com, https://people.com/G-Flip-Chrishell-Stause-every-year-exclusive-118 03684 UTM_source =ChatGPT.com. It's love. Yes, but it's also intentional, playful, and rooted in a recognition that life is short and celebrations matter. On the professional front, Chrishell revealed in early November that she is essentially stepping away from Selling Sunset after season 9. She told 2 People on November 4, 2025, "The reunion was so brutal. In that moment, I realized I will be done here going forward. I wish everyone the best, but this isn't the place for me. It felt a little bit like a dog pile." People.com, https://people.com/Chrishell-Stause-done-with-selling-sunset-after-season-9-brutal-reunion-11,842,551 UTM_source =ChatGPT.com. She had walked into the season thinking everything was going to be easy, only to face deep fractures in friendship, particularly the falling out with longtime best friend Emma Hernan and the entrance of new castmate Nicole Young. She said of the aching loss of trust between her and Emma, "We were best friends. It's a sad situation. PeopleE.com. https://people.com/Chrishell-Stause says-he-done with selling sunset after season -9 -s brutal reunion -11,842,051 $UTM_source =ChatGPT.com. This decision doesn't feel like retreat. It feels like the next chapter of someone who's done giving her heart to an environment that no longer holds her. And finally, amidst all these serious pivots, there are the quieter emotional moments. In March 2025, she announced the peaceful passing of her 14-year-old rescue dog Gracie. "Our beloved Gracie left us peacefully today," she wrote, adding, "It's impossible to post a fraction of the joy this angel brought me." EW.com, https://du.com/Chrishell- Stause announces death dog Gracie 11,698 990 $UTM_source =ChatGPT.com. Even this joy beyond Dallas moment reminds us Chrishell is living a full life beyond the camera, loved, longing, evolving.